We are live now. Would you like to begin,
Go
Katie?
ahead, Todd.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This soul's name is Todd, along with my dear friend, Katye Anna, and we are Conscious Creating on the new streaming network. We're going to start with a brief meditation to settle in and ask our guides and angels to join us this morning. So if everybody would close down your eyes, take a gentle swallow, and connect with your breath. And as we are reconnecting with our breath, gently and softly elongate the inhale, inhaling through your nose, and gently elongate the exhale, exhaling through your mouth. And settle in to that soft energy that is always with us, and connect with something deeper, your other senses, what your eyes are seeing with your eyes closed, what your eyes are hearing when you shut out the external picture that we generally are connecting with most of the time. And as we are settling in with our eyes closed, we ask our guides, spirits, angels, archangels, teachers, masters, enlightened ones, source, universe, planet, cosmos, and beyond, to join us this morning in remembering our true nature of oneness, our true nature of love, and our true nature that we are all connected to each other. And I ask you this morning, we're going to be joined with a special guest a little later on. And I'm going to ask you to use your inner senses when you are listening to the message, because the message and messages are coming from a higher energy. And I ask you not to judge or interpret anything, but just let it fall upon you. You might want to re-watch the show back a couple of times maybe, and just see what resonates for you as it comes through. Just receiving it. The topic for today's show is an introduction with and of Anna. We're very fortunate to have Katie be sharing her stream of consciousness and group of souls with us this morning. And as your breath returns to normal, gently open your eyes and we will begin and turn it over to Katie.
Good morning, everyone. This is a live show, as you very well know, and Todd and I were having some issues with the sound. It sounds okay there now, right? And so today we're here to talk about my journey with Anna. Who is Anna? Anna is a group of souls that I share a steady stream of consciousness with. Now, some people would say a channel. A lot of people call it channeling. I can tell you that I was the most reluctant channeler to be found. I did not seek this out. I did not seek to channel with Anna, to bring in these information, but it was a part of my soul journey. Now, I didn't just wake up and there was Anna. It was a journey. I've shared before in many classes that when I was 38, I had a soul realignment. And that soul realignment was a stop sign, reevaluate my life, and go on a different path. And boy, did I go on a different path. Um, my intuitive sight started coming back after that. That happened at the York House AIDS Hospice. I started seeing angels and dead people. And that was the first time I realized that I could see things that other people couldn't because the nurses weren't seeing that stuff. So that was my first hint that something was going on, that my sight was different. When little kids are seeing angels, they don't know that other people aren't seeing them. And so even at age 40, I didn't know that the nurses and family members couldn't see what the people dying could see and what I saw. So that was a big aha moment. I still didn't know what was going on, but that's when the angels started really popping into my life, guiding me, directing me, teaching me. Then I got Reiki attuned, and again, the angels started popping in. So they became my teachers. Archangel Metatron was an angel that became a master teacher. Todd, interrupt me anytime you want. Uh, and I went through something called Metatron's Fire. It was an activation. Now, by this time, I was aware of this guidance coming in. By this time, I was connected to my soul, but I still didn't have all the teachings. I knew that my soul wasn't something to be saved at this point. I knew that I was an incarnated being now. You know, Before I didn't know that I was an incarnated being. So I was in my 40s when all this started happening to me. Um, Around 18 years ago, I started teaching classes with my husband, Alan, called the Heart Mind and ARCs, activations, reading, and clearings. And they were all brought in by this group I knew as Anna. But my voice was still my voice. And I was still pretty much in control of what I was saying, you know. And I would say to many people, no one's ever taken over my body. It isn't gonna happen. Um, I didn't have any experience with channelers. I didn't read any books about it. I I was ignorant on the subject, And so in 2013, November 2013, I had a client coming, and I woke up that morning and I knew my life was going to change. How did I know? My dreams told me. I called my client and I said, "Can we do this on the phone?" And she said, "No, I want to come see you in person." So I texted my husband and I said, "Honey, I need you to come to this appointment." And he's like, "You've never asked me to come to an appointment." And I'm like, "I need you here. Don't ask questions, just come." And that's when Anna showed up for the first time. Um, when Anna first came in, again, they're a group of souls who are no longer on the reincarnation cycle, but they love us so much, so they're teaching us. They have some core teachings, and everything I do now comes from them. Um, in 2013, we started writing the book Conscious Construction of the Soul. I would wake up in a semi sleep state and I would write. And Alan and I were like two little kids because I would get up, I would write in semi sleep state, and then in the morning, I'd go back to bed at some point. And then in the morning, Alan and I would wake up and like two little kids, let's see what Anna said. Let's see what Anna taught today. We were so excited, to what did Anna teach? Seven planes of consciousness, three spiritual keys, the journey of the soul, and like I said, I didn't remember what I wrote. So it was, I guess some people would call it automatic writing, but it was just a real exciting time. And I loved writing with Anna. I loved all the teaching, but I still, it was not an easy transition for me to let them take over my entire consciousness. And that's why I say I share a steady stream of consciousness. When Anna's speaking, my voice changes, and I'm now aware of what they're saying. I used to not be. Um, and it's been a beautiful journey. I mean, Anna, I always say, I wish I could convey the love that these souls have for us. Last week Todd was talking about we live in amazing times right now. There's so much available to us that 30, 40 years ago, you know. So when I started doing this, I I was raised a good little Lutheran girl in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. I lived within a 5-mile radius all my life. Since I'm 9 years old, I've lived in the same space. I haven't moved anywhere other than down the hill and up the hill. And so for this to happen to this little girl from Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, who had no idea growing up that she was an incarnated soul, to me is pretty amazing. But again, Todd, for me, this was a part of what my soul wanted. One time they said that it took my soul 76 lifetimes to get someone to do this. And I said, well, what happened to the other lifetimes, the other personalities? And they said they all died trying, because I went through a lot of activations and it felt at times like my body was going to explode. It was very electrical. Back in the day when Anna first came in, a lot of students, my husband, they were aware that I was going to die because the energy was so intense. And let's face it, I don't have the best physical body. You need a lot of to one of the things that I've learned is when you bring in all this light energy, you need more muscle mass. Do you agree with that, Todd? You know what I mean by that?
What I have heard from several channelers, it's depleting. The sessions are depleting, and because it's different energies, right? I said that earlier on in my suggestion to the audience when they listen, um, for a myriad of reasons. So there is some energy depletion after transmissions, is what I've heard from several channelers.
For me, it's been an amazing journey. And like I said, writing the books with Anna, I still write books with Anna. The last one was um, The Unraveling, The Birth of Unity Consciousness. And everything I teach, they teach me. And then I get to interpret it my way, you know. But again, the love that this group of souls has for us and humanity is just pretty amazing. And so I'm honored that my soul created me to do this. I'm honored that I was able to follow the yellow brick road. There's no one thing that led me here, but it definitely was after that soul realignment, being willing to stay open and to I my motto is tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. Show me what you want me to do and I'll do it. And they want me to be the voice for Anna. And I'll tell you, it's been many years in coming that we do something like this live on Facebook because I'm still, a little, I still have a lot of relatives that, are very traditional. Even some of my brothers and my sister is very supportive. She doesn't quite understand, but a lot of family members, um, a lot of people think channeling is a negative thing. That is not a positive thing to be channeling energy in, and I do believe that you have to be responsible with it. But to say I'm channeling, I just it's I share a steady stream of consciousness with this group of souls. And so do you have any questions, Todd?
If you could just briefly touch on the aspect. So these group of souls have a name, Anna. Uh, but as with all channelers or divine information, it's representing a higher energy of ascended, a group of ascended souls. Yes, it's not a person as we would know it, even though it has a name. So that's the first thing. And these teachings are for you as well. Yes, that
I'm
for
having
you
trouble
to
hearing you, but I think you said something about the group of souls.
yes, even though the group has a name Anna, it's really a group from higher energies. Yes.
I'm not hearing you. The group of souls um, had many incarnations by themselves. They had many lifetimes, and they're no longer on the reincarnation cycle. I can't even tell you how we came up with the name Anna. Just one morning I woke up and it was Anna. It could have been Frank or Harry or because it's Anna is not a female, but because I'm a female, Anna has a female voice. Some people say she has a German voice. I don't know, but why don't we just take the commercial and we'll come back and do the Anna.
Sounds like a plan. We'll be back shortly and visit with our special guest. Thank you for joining us. This is Conscious Creating on the New Streaming Network.
All right, we're back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's switch over to Anna. There's no process that I go through. I mean, again, I'm always aware that they're there now. They're there. And it's interesting. Something I'd like to add. Um, when I'm going through human things, like I was last Thursday, I was sick. I was in the hospital. It was my son's birthday. They back away. When after my husband Alan died, they backed away. And I asked them, why do you back away when I'm in distress like this? And they said, we need to allow you to have your human experience. So they're very respectful of my life and my choices. And and then when I call upon them, like, hey, Anna, where are you? You know, then they'll pop in, to my consciousness. But when I'm going through something, they 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 don't try to baby me or take care of me or prevent me from going that way. They say I need to have that human experience, and they need to back away and allow it. So, all right, let's bring in Anna. Well, greetings, Todd. How are you doing, dear?
Very well. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, we're
Welcome.
excited to speak to you in this way. Katie's a little bit shy about allowing us to come through in this kind of forum, but for whatever reason, she's ready now, thanks to you, helping her, giving her a little push. So we want to thank you, Todd, for giving her a push. Now, we're very excited about being here. A few of the things that we heard Katie talk about was writing with us. This is the format that we use to get information across, one of the ways. And so the first book we worked with Katie was Conscious Construction of the Soul. And here in Conscious Construction, how do we say this? We felt it was very important to give personalities some information on how the soul creates an incarnation. Most personalities, humans, see themselves as just that. They don't realize that they have the spark of the soul in them. If they know anything about the soul, they think it's something to be saved. So we felt very right away, we wanted to get straight about how the life creates a pre-plan. It creates a how do we say it? Your plan. So Todd, there was actually a plan for your life, just as there was for Katie, and just as there was for everyone who's listening. We talk about the Hall of Records, the Akashic Plains. We describe a soul who we gave the name Samuel, and how Samuel feels the pull to be incarnated. Now, souls just don't incarnate for any reason. Souls incarnate on earth so they can grow and expand. Now, something Katie has said many times is, why would the soul need to go to earth to expand when it's in this place of love? Well, we would like to say that in this place of love, even there's nothing really to create. And so that's why the souls come here on earth. They get to be creator and created. You understand that part? That you're both creator and created. And so the soul creates this plan, and then it chooses the other souls who will journey with them. So it's no accident that you and Katie met, and it's no accident that you pushed her to do this show. It's part of your soul agreement. And she has agreements with you made by your souls. Now, the personalities get in the way, don't they? Because this is a planet of free will. You don't have to do anything on this planet. You don't have to bring forth the dreams and visions of your soul if you don't want to. A couple important notes. There's only two things you have to understand on Earth. There's two directives. Stay open to love, number one. Stay open to love. Number two, eradicate all fear. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Stay open to love. Who wouldn't choose to stay open to love? Well, we know it doesn't work that way on planet. And then you have eradicate fear. Many human beings live in constant state of fear. They don't even realize that they are in this place of fear. And so those are the two directives. Now, all the other thing, all soul agreements are made in love. Every soul agreement is made in love. No soul says, well, I'm going to come down and be the rapist to teach you about forgiveness, or I'm going to come down and be Hitler. No, there's an agreement that they will teach each other something. Unfortunately, Earth currently wasn't always that way. It's a planet of duality. So, as we said earlier, many people don't even know they're incarnated. They don't know that they're constantly creating. Every thought creates via your emotions. That's why we gave you the three spiritual keys. The three spiritual keys converge in love. If you can't do it in love, don't do it. And it has to be for the common good of all. The experience you're putting your energy into has to be for the common good of all. How well are you doing with that on the planet right now? All of you have been raised with survival consciousness and separation consciousness. We were too. We were too. And what we're teaching is a pathway of unity consciousness. This is where you're going. This is where you were born to be. Unity. And so converging in love. If it can't be done in love, if it causes you to separate, if it causes you to choose a side, is it actually done in love? That's something that can be a whole program. The second spiritual key, take responsibility for your thoughts and your emotions. Take responsibility for your thoughts and your emotions. Now, we love humans. We were human once. But how many humans are taking responsibility for their thoughts? There's a teacher that, what's his name? Bruce Lipton. He says that, we might screw up the quote, but he says that personalities are conscious only about 10% of the time. 10% of the time. Think about that. That means you're on autopilot 90% of your day. That means you're not taking responsibility for your thoughts and your emotions 90% of the day. So our work is to help you wake up, help you realize that nothing happens in your world without you having an energy attachment to it. There's some kind of attachment to an experience that you welcome into your life. Now, we know that many people say, well, you're saying that we create everything? Yes. Through your thoughts and your emotions, you create everything. But what happened when you were a child? You weren't taught that you were an incarnated soul. That's why we say it over and over and over again. You're an incarnated soul. You have the creative energy of God itself in you. Now we know that that term God It's subjective. So we're talking about the creative force. You have this spark within you. You're born with this. When the umbilical cord is severed and that spark of your soul comes in, the consciousness of you began. And you began imprinting everything around you. So by the time you were 6 years old, you had imprinted the beliefs of your tribe and beliefs about yourself. And you were told to color inside the lines. And you were told to be so much smaller than you were born to be. Now, your parents and teachers didn't do this because they didn't love you. They just didn't know any better. They had fallen into the abyss of unconsciousness early on. And so when you were born, the soul contract was, I will be what you asked me to be, so you can become who you need to be on this journey. But by the age of 6, think about that. You had your vibrational frequency, and that vibrational frequency was sending out energy to others. Now, Todd, you're how old are you? You're in your 60s, right? Well, think about it. If you haven't changed those beliefs, you're still operating on the beliefs of a 6-year-old. It wasn't until Katie was 38 and she had her soul realignment that she started questioning. She questioned everything. She questioned her family beliefs, her tribal beliefs. She questioned her religion, everything. This was not bad to question. Questions are good. Dear ones, ask questions. Do not be like sheep. Now, what do we mean by that? Humans are like sheep, are you not? Many humans were taught to be like sheep and follow along without making waves. You were taught to do this by the time you were 6. And those children that made waves were called problem children. They were not popular in school. The teachers wanted to harness them in. Now, your teachers didn't do this because they didn't love you. They did this because it was the only format they knew. So that second spiritual key, take responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions. Again, everything that happens in your life, you have put some kind of energy towards it. And we can explain that in many different sessions with Todd. The third spiritual key, we can only succeed together. We need each other to succeed. Do you understand what that means? That means that we must learn to cooperate and collaborate together, the world of spirit and the world of man. And that means that personalities must come together in the spirit of love, taking responsibility, collaborating, and cooperating for the highest good for everyone. For everyone, not just for a few. Again, we talked about your separation consciousness and how you grew up. Most of you grew up, as we did, in survival consciousness. We created a world where, and you still live in a world where the haves and have-nots. Many have become complacent to the pain and suffering of their brothers and sisters. In that third key, we can only succeed together. Means that we need to take care of each other. And that includes Mother Earth. That includes the planet. Now, currently, are we giving too much information, Todd? No, continue?
Please.
All right. Currently, you're going through the unraveling. That which is not in alignment with love is unraveling. Your ecosystems is one of them. Your governments across the world, your political, your financial, education, your healthcare systems, they're all unraveling because they weren't created in love. Many times people say, well, you better not do that. We'll get in trouble. I'm sorry. We have these conversations in ourselves, and we were going to bring up a subject, but we don't want to get. We'll save it for another day, perhaps. But how can we do it without giving up? All right. Unless there is a consciousness shift, there will not be a change that will last forever. In other words, you can't get peace by killing people. So you continue to settle for peace after many have died and saying, someone won the war. That's ridiculous, isn't it? How can you get peace from war? There was not a collective consciousness shift on the peace. There was a giving in of one side to the other. You have these changes. Let's stay with the United States. Oh, what the heck? We just can't help ourselves. Abortion. Abortion's a hot topic. Now, we're not going to talk about the rights and wrongs about it. But there was an agreement years ago that this would be the law of the land. And now the law of the land is changing because there was not a collective consciousness shift. Do you understand where we're going with that, Todd? There has to be a collective shift in consciousness.
I do understand that. I hope our audience does. And I'm so appreciative to spend time with you. I was wondering if we could, we're just sort of out of time right now. So if we could just have a closing
We
message.
used up all the time?
We did.
Oh, we're sorry. You should have stopped us, dear.
I don't want to cut such wonderful information and voices off. So I was trying to go as long as we could.
All right. Well, thank you,
apologize.
everyone, for listening. Todd, go ahead.
That's it.
Close it off.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Any last words before we'll hopefully we'll be back with you, but anything to part with us with?
Just dear ones, stay open to love. Stay open to love.
Thank you so much, Anna. So wonderful spending time with you. Thank you for sharing with us and being with us this morning. It's been wonderful. Love to you and all. Thank you for that, Katie. Are you back with us?
It looks like
think
we're
we're
still
having
live. We want to thank the new streaming network for sponsoring us and holding the space for us. And And as you can see, has quite a talker. Has quite
We
a
look
talker.
forward to doing this again soon.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Todd. Signing off.
Peace and blessings.